Oh, hey folks. October 1st, 2025. Just finished up the third day bushwalk for the week with a beautiful community of the Peel area in the Peel Flora and Fauna Reserve. Had a beautiful walk through this rocky upland country. Eucalyptus polyanthemos and Eucalyptus macrorinca and Gonio calyx. There's a lot of that around here defining this particular vegetation, sort of up on the rockier hillsides. And just going to take time out to make a video on this one. People got pretty interested in it. This is a nodding blue lily, or what we call Stypandra glauca. There's only one species in New South Wales, and as far as I know, I don't think there's too many species in the genus, but there's one in New South Wales, and this is it here. It can be really, really common in sort of upper slope woodland or close to ridges a lot of the time. In the Southern Highlands, I get a ton of it. Sometimes you can walk through whole upper hillsides of it. Here, it's growing a bit more sparsely, but it's very, very common. It's in full flower at the moment. It's in the Dianella family, and those sort of lily-type plants keep getting jumbled around, so they keep getting reclassified, but it's now in a family with Xanthorrhoea grass trees, and it's in a family with Dianella. I think Bulbini's in there. I think things like Thelionema are in there as well, Trichorhini. I think aloe as well, like exotic aloe vera, that's in there too. It's all in this group that's related now. But a lot of jumbling has been occurring in these monocots for a fair bit. Jumbling and rejumbling and figuring out which is related to what. But regardless of all that, it's quite an easy plant to identify. To me, it's like a Dianella, just a different sort of Dianella. It's got these sort of aerial stems like some Dianellas do, with leaves coming up the stems. And yeah, sort of flowers produced on these sort of well and truly elongated stems. Produce sort of leaves all the way along. So for a monocot, that's just a little bit atypical. Normally the leaves are clustered at the base in things like Lamandra, and a lot of monocots, like even things like agapanthus and those sort of things. But here we've got the leaves going up sort of aerial stems, or well and truly up above the ground. They can be to 15 centimetres long, and I think about 15 mil wide or something like that. So you just get these clustered bluey green leaves to 15 centimetres. They're always a bluey green colour. A lot of the time they can vary. It is called glauca based on the colour of the foliage. Sometimes they're very green and they're not very grey at all, but tip them over in the sun and normally they've got a bluey green appearance. They've totally got Dianella flowers. They've got flowers really similar to Dianella, and in these lilies we have flowers with 3 petals and 3 sepals, but I think because we can't really tell which are which, we just call them tepals. In a lot of these lilies, you get the word tepals, which means petal-like structures. And they could be sepals, they could be petals, but we're just not really sure, so we just call them tepals. You get 6 anthers, you can see them there. 6 anthers surrounding the carpel in the middle. And yeah, you just got that one female carpel there in the middle, and 6 stamens around the outside. It's almost, Dianella's pretty much doing the same thing. It's got a massive range, Stypandra glauca. It's all over most of New South Wales. You can get it not too far from Sydney. And there's even records going out to near Broken Hill. I assume they're natural, but it's up and down the coast, Tablelands, Western Slopes. It just gets into Queensland, around, again, that Stanthorpe, Warwick area, and I think it sort of goes on to Toowoomba and Brisbane, but it's just punching up into there. It's over most of Victoria, again, maybe with the exception of the northwest. There's a few clusters around the sort of South Australian coast, sort of surrounding Adelaide and a bit further afield to the west, not too far west. And then there's a whole heap of it in Western Australia. in the southwest corner of Western Australia, but coming out a fair bit in towards the central part. But you'd call it really the southwest area. There's a whole heap of it there as well, and it's natural to Western Australia. So it's got a big range. It's not in Tasmania for some reason. Just didn't quite make it there, or maybe it used to be there. Sometimes the stems can look a bit died off and the leaves are just kept to a minimal. Even when it's not in flower, it's just so easy to identify. And it was just getting a lot of people's attention today. You don't see it in flower all the time, but here, what are we, the first day of October? It's putting on a really good show. Now, once on a roadside, I just dug up a little root fragment, just a little rhizome from it, and I transplanted it into my garden, and it's growing happily just on a sandy soil in southern Sydney there. It's growing quite happily. So, like sort of a lot of these monocots, sometimes you just need a little bit of transported rhizome and they'll grow quite happily. They get a bit straggly in the bush like this. Some people might even say it's ugly, half dead looking thing, but you can always cut them back and they'll regenerate themselves. So it's one of these plants you can keep looking really good. They can get up, as you can see, to about 1.5, 2 metres. They can get up that tall. Probably 1.5 is the tallest I've seen them. So instead of planting Dianella, you can plant some of these. They might not give as much cover on the ground as some Dianellas. They're a bit sparse. But you can easily plant one of these instead of planting a Dianella. I think just digging up a rhizome and transplanting it, give it plenty of water to start with. Maybe do it in autumn. That's the way to go. Unlike Dianella, Stypandra have a capsule. They've got a dry capsule, and I am trying to find some as I go around. I can't quite find any at the moment, but Dianellas have a berry, and Stypandra glauca's got they describing it as a trigonous capsule to about 12 mil long. I've never actually seen the capsules. I'll have to look out for it at some stage. But I'm just checking these ones. But if I get sort of ripening past flowers that are past it, I'm trying to say, yeah, I'll see if I can spot any capsules. I've never actually had a look at them, but I do know I've never seen blue berries on it like Dianella.